Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
Live from the Tony Wallow Studios, it's the Ken Stout Live Show featuring the Zoom Homies, produced by L&K Productions. Okay, good evening. A little late. Apologies for that. Only 3 minutes, and somebody, I'm not going to mention anyone's name, was, where am I? It is Friday, the 21st of April, 2023. I am your host, Ken Stout of Ken Stout Live in the Zoom Homies, and we already have Jeff, William, Tim, and Greg in. Let's bring them in. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Where?
Good evening, everybody. How's my sound?
Sounds all right.
Great.
So, I do have the avatar running for a reason, obviously. Let's see if I can figure
So
out.
how did everything go today?
Good and bad. I mean,
Oh,
it's to
man,
be expected.
You look like one of those people I saw in a movie.
I have the glasses on
Sorry,
because there's a lot of white and bright lights, and it's bothering my eye that I got fixed today. So that's why I got the sunglasses on. The hat is a brand new hat that I bought today down at the cantina. I liked it.
Nice.
Yeah, it was only $16 too, so the price was real good. And then I was looking for a couple crests to put on either side of the emblem here, right in this general
That'd be
area.
really cool.
But they
So
didn't have.
Are you the new Men in Black?
No, I'm just the. If I take these off, okay,
Don't do it.
then it's a little bright in my left eye. Now I can actually see right now out of my left eye. I can read. It's just a little bit fuzzy, but it's clear. It's a clear fuzziness, if that makes sense. So I put these on because that cuts down on the glare of the light. I've only got the hat on because I wanted to show you guys the new hat that I bought. This will be my formal occasion, going out to dinner, going to whatever, weddings, funerals, whatever hat. My other black veterans hat will be my golfing hat, and if it doesn't improve my game pretty soon, it's going to go by the way of my club head, and it's going to get lost. So I will be right back.
Nice.
Yes, you'll notice that there is a little bit of a thing right there. That's when they wrote on my forehead to verify what eye they were going to repair.
Do this.
Which is always a good thing. And I got a cute story about that.
That tape looked like a number 7.
Yeah, I did. I seen pictures.
I thought maybe you was getting introduced into the Borg from Star Trek.
No. I have a.
I'm joking.
I have a plan coming up for something. So, after the surgery, I was there. We got there about 10 minutes too late. Like to be early. Got checked right in. Got taken right back. And I mean, it was not even 8 o'clock, and they're already poking, prodding, hooking stuff up, asking a million questions. everything else. So that was good. I ran into the doctor going to the surgery because I forgot where it was at. So Mrs. K and I are standing in this area, and I'm like, I can't remember which way to go. And this person comes walking towards us, and she says, "What are you trying to find, sir?" I said, "Well, I have eye surgery this morning." And she goes, "Ken," and I went, "You're my doctor." And she says, "Yeah." She did, and she pointed us in the right direction. So that's kind of funny. And then she comes in. She got a great sense of humor because when she came into the prep room, she goes, "We meet again," and great sense of humor. So I went
That's
into
really cool.
the operating room at 9:37. I was done, dressed, and ready to go home at 10:30. That's how quick it was. This one didn't bother me as much as the first one, I guess because I knew what was coming. Although I had more apprehension about this one. And then we had to hang around until 3:30. So when we went to check in for that, they had a 3-hour delay. So I looked at my watch and I said, I am not staying here until 6:30 tonight. And the lady says, no, 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 no. The 3-hour delay is for people in their initial appointments to get either their eyes tested or, the glasses fixed or whatever. She says, you're in a different category. You had surgery. You'll go in at 3:30. I said, cool. So 3:28 rolls around and they took me back, and that was that. It was done. The one thing the doctor did, which I thought was funny, but we caught it in time, is she was going to put an eye drop in my left eye to do something. And she took the bottle and she grabbed my right eye. I said, Doc, don't you think it'd work better in the left eye? And she said, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. So, I mean, I'm sure she had a long day. My
Oh,
right eye vision
hell
is 2015. There will be no correction on that. And if this eye heals like she thinks it will and I think it will, it's going to be at least 2020 and there'll be no correction for that. So, yes, it was a good surgery. It went well. I can close my right eye right now and I can read, okay, I was in the Navy, but my hearing started to fail, was going to be a SEAL from Roy. Wintermute, no, they didn't. They did the left one correct. I know. I can read it. It's just a little bit. I don't know what, like fog or something, I guess is how I want to put it. So I'm not going to need anything to read the text on the computer either, which is great because that was a concern. So let me go catch up with chat, see what's
So you'll
going
be
on.
glass free in about a week.
Uh, yeah, I have to go back May 1st for the first, whatever you call it, post-op checkup, and then I go back May 26th, and then I go back July 5th, but my July 5th is for my hearing.
Oh yeah, hearing problems too.
What?
Huh? I can't hear you.
Yeah,
You say something.
sometimes my hearing comes and goes. I think it's when my sound bar doesn't work properly.
Or is it selective hearing?
No, I do not have well, I do have selective hearing when Mrs. K is talking, but
Well, everybody's got selective
I
hearing.
well, I'm sure, but
I have a 80%. I had a 80% hearing loss in my left ear from being so small as a baby in an airplane with
be
no
right back, Miss.
earmuffs on. And I had to go to Charlottesville, Virginia every year and go to this soundproof room and stuff and check it every year.
I know right
From
where
a
that is.
kid,
I have been there.
from a kid on. And now, and I do have a hearing aid. I will not wear it. I will not wear it. Being a machinist, you don't need that. It's too loud. I quit wearing the damn thing. It's just like eyeglasses. And so it's gotten a little worse. I'm down to 85% hearing loss now in my left ear. Being in aviation, born into it, that's probably where some of my accent comes from. I hear things different than other people. But anyway, I'll let Ken carry on.
I had to step away for a minute, help Mrs. K out. So I'm gonna catch up with Chuck. Tony Waddle was first. John Olway Sr. was second, which means I probably better make Zoom full screen, see how that looks. Greg Guy was third. Bobby Warren was fourth. William Dawson fifth. Jeff was first from Vegas and sixth overall. Chris Garrett seventh. And Roy, once again, claims last place. Well, I don't think you're last place. I was last. I didn't get here until about 9:31. Rick Lake says hello. And Chris asked me where I was. It was Chris that asked where I was at. Chris, doggone it. Yes, I had surgery. No one else is running the show. I did see where Doug went about 45 minutes today. So I have not watched it yet. We got home, took a nap, woke up, had dinner, and here I am, which is better than last time because last time I got home, took a nap, woke up, and was having a diabetic episode. So the doctor approved my plan. I was so impressed because she said, "Do you have any questions?" And I explained what happened. I said, "But I got a plan." She goes, "What's your plan?" I said, "I brought a donut." And she went, "Really?" I said, "Yeah." She goes, "That's a good idea." So, I mean, probably 15 minutes after they came in and they gave me their saltine crackers and glass of water, black coffee. When the nurse left, Lorna goes, "Here you go." And man, that donut was so good.
That's that's one thing I really hate about hospitals. I want this, I want that, but they don't give it to you.
Yeah.
You gotta sneak it in sometimes.
Roy's asking, was it laser? No, I think this was all done the old-fashioned way with the scalp, and they open that little area behind your eye, and they chop up the cataract, and then they remove it. Now this time they removed this thing so much differently than last time. They flushed it out with liquid, and I could feel they were like, okay, we're gonna. I forget what they called it. It's not rinse, but they had a name for it. And as soon as they started that, I could feel it going in my eye. I thought, that's pretty cool. You could tell it was probably saline solution or something. And then they finished it up. And like I said, I'm under an hour, in and out. Yeah, couldn't have any complaint. Yeah, Rick says glad surgery went well. It did, so am I.
Did they knock you out?
Do what, Tim?
Did they knock you out?
No, they don't knock you out completely. The donut was good. The Wintermute's asking how the donut.
You had what do you call it? Not eat for so long.
Yeah, since 11:30 last night, I had no water, no meds, no food, nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, in fact,
Oh, wow.
she says, "Is there anything you would like before we go in?" I said, "I would really like a little sip of water." And she says, "You'll be fine." So that was a no. But yeah, it went well. My weight's 246. I gained a pound. Oh my goodness, that's horrible. BP
That's
was
really
good
not
and
that
blood
bad.
sugar was good. No, it's not. It's all concentrated in one place. I look like I'm 17 months pregnant, but other than that, everything else is okay.
When you having the baby,
Yeah,
I'm just
4th of
joking.
July.
Some people take things the wrong way.
Yeah. Long Dog said he had an incident in his mom and dad's where he passed out. That's not good.
Oh my God.
Hopefully he wasn't out very long and his mom and dad knew what to do. Squad 51, I know him. Only Chris
Well,
Garrett.
I'm glad you had a successful surgery. My stepmother did that stuff, and she's blind as a bat now.
That's
I
funny
had-
you should say that because one of the nurses, the guy that put my IV in my hand, we got to chatting about things, and he was bringing up some statistics about if you go to a certain hospital versus if you go to it just ended in That's been 15 minutes already? Holy cow.
So is this LASIK? I'm kind of confused. Is this LASIK?
I
Oh,
don't
that's
think it was
starting.
LASIK. I think it was the good old fashioned. Well, part of it is
Oh, the
laser,
old,
but it's not LASIK surgery.
LASIK
it's
is
the
when they
old
use
way.
a laser to reshape an irregularly shaped lens.
Yeah. So real
So
quick,
what they did
let me let
was
chat
remove
know
the,
the stream is not ending. I forgot to adjust the macro. That's just the macro running, and I will restart the macro. But I will
he's been
make
through a
one
lot.
quick change when the macro starts. So once it ends, I can't do anything while it's running. So I'm going to let it end, and then it's done. Now I'm going to go back over to here. Actually, over to here. And then go to here. That's not what I want either. Oh,
So they
doggone it.
didn't.
Well, I'm going to shut off
They
the
didn't.
intro because I don't want the intro to run. So now I'm going to go back down to here. I'm going to press run macro, and it's going to start all over again. And there we go. Now, what I should have done is shut off the intro, but it's only 16 seconds long, so that's not going to hurt us.
So you didn't have any major stuff done. You just had some cataracts removed.
Right,
That's
I
pretty.
had cataracts removed out of both those. Now they don't let you go into a deep sleep, but they do sedate you.
A
And
little
then they
bit.
say if things look to be bad, we'll get you going. The thing that concerned me that they asked questions this time they didn't ask last time, and one of the questions they asked were, "Are you missing any teeth?" And I smiled, and of course I got 12 teeth missing. They go, "Yeah, we'll put that down as a yes." And then the other thing they said
They didn't
was,
want to know that.
"Well, I don't know. You're working on my eyes. What do my teeth have in anyway?"
Well, they want to know if you have any removable false teeth, dentures, or something
Oh,
like
okay, okay,
that, because that could
Why?
lead you to choke if you left them in.
right, yeah. They
And
made me take my
Oh,
wedding band off this time, which was weird. And the other odd
oh,
question
really?
was, we will be monitoring your breathing, and if it gets too shallow, we'll jump in and we'll help you breathe, and we'll get you back to breathing correctly by waking you up. And I'm like, well, that's good to know. So, but it went well. I was really impressed last time. I'm quadruply impressed this time. I mean, the fact that I can see chat right now with no problem, you guys have no idea. Now I can't play golf
You
for
know
2 weeks. I'm bummed about that, but can't mow the grass. Guy specifically asked, and she said no. um, so okay, let's go catch up with chat. Bobby Warren said I went to Apple today. My phone wasn't working. It dropped the Wi-Fi connection. I tried to get a new phone. That's why I was forced. Oh, no worries. Speaking of dropping the phone, Mrs. K and I were exchanging my phone from me to her, and somehow all of a sudden you hear boom! It's on the floor. It's a lot louder than that, by the way. So my first thought was, oh, I just broke my phone. No, it's been fine. Um, somebody's got YouTube running.
Not me.
Well, let me
I
figure
do
out
have
who it
you,
is.
but it's muted.
It shows it's somebody had it running because I was hearing an echo. It's gone now.
Uh,
No, Bobby, you and Jaden need to go work out your personal issues off of my channel, please. Not on my channel. I don't know what's going on. I don't care what's going on, but we don't need this childish bickering in my channel, on my channel. So please take it elsewhere.
Oh shit. Who is that?
That is Bobby Warren and someone else, and we're not going to go into a big hefty discussion over it. Yeah, Tim, whatever you're doing, it when the echo when you got something unmuted is you because your box lights up when I hear the echo.
Oh, me?
No, the other Tim. Yes, you, Tim. I got to be nice to Tim. He's going to help me with the project I'm working on.
Okay. I only have one microphone here. You're hearing an echo?
When you talk, I do not. Every now and then when I talk or someone else talks, there is an echo, yes. And your box lights up.
That's really weird.
You're part of this group, Tim. It's normal. Don't.
I know, but
Well, first of all, let me verify. Is anyone else hearing an echo?
Yes.
Okay.
Normal here, weird elsewhere.
See? Now, that time, okay, that's weird. That time it was not Tim, but it was William. So is this random echoing from Zoom night or what?
I don't know.
All right. Bobby, take it out of my chat.
Because I
Make
do
it-
have a different setup because I'm using speakers and I'm using the mic from the webcam.
Ski Man says he hears it also.
Yeah.
So there's something going on.
Let me change some things here. We'll get rid of that.
I would appreciate it. I'm good, Bobby. I'm bummed that I can't do anything for 2 weeks. But then again, on the other hand, I mean, I don't do a lot as it is. Golf, mow the grass. Is someone logged in twice? No, not that I can see. Jeff, me, William, Greg, or Tim, and Chris. So no. Wintermute heard it too. Looked like see, Wintermute said the same thing. First it was Tim, and I'm not picking on Tim by no means. And then when Jeff spoke, it showed up as being William. So I don't know what it is.
Yes, 1, 2.
A course in ventriloquism.
Are you? It seems to be going quite well.
Really? So did they send a monkey to the moon the other day?
No, I think they sent it about 10 feet in the air and it blew up.
Yeah. Okay.
Did they
It
really?
was kind of cool to watch the International Space Station fly over work today. Oh my gosh, I didn't leave there till freaking 4 o'clock today.
That was the only drawback. I'm sorry, Tim, go ahead.
And this pot wants to come over and buy some photos. Like, this guy ain't coming. I'm doing my normal thing. Screw these people.
Did they really have a monkey on that?
No, Chris.
No, I was just joking, Chris. They should have put something on it, like another Tesla or something like the last one. Come on. No.
Yeah, it seems the echo has gone away, so that's good.
Yeah, well, I changed speakers and mic. So how's that?
So far, no echo, and it sounds good. So we're good. Going back to my surgery, the doctor contemplated for a minute on if she was going to give me the same medication they gave me last time, which was to relieve the pressure in my eye. And she said, "You're borderline." She goes, "I personally would feel better if you got it. How do you feel?" But I said, just order it and I'll get it. You know, what's one more drop in my eye for the next 2 weeks? You know, not a big deal. The hearing aid, or the hearing appointment was really comical because we went to make the appointment and we made it. "What's your name?" I told her. "Last 4. I told her. She goes, "Okay." And she gives me a bunch of dates and I'm like, "May is out, June is out. What do you got in July?" She says, "The first available in July is July 5th. I'll take it." "What time?" "I don't care." So it's at 11 o'clock on the 5th. She prints out a piece of paper. It's about a mile long. And she goes, "Here you go. You're all set." Cool. We go back to the eye clinic. I start reading the paper. And it's Steve C. Scott. My name's Kenneth R. Stout. So I'm like,
Right, they gave you the wrong
she
paperwork.
she was on apparently our names were real close. She printed the wrong name. So we go back down there and we walk in. She goes, "Oh my God, I'm so glad you came back. I've been trying to call you." I said, "I put my phone on mute because I didn't want to disturb anybody." She goes, "Well, that's why you're not," whatever. And she says, "You probably know by now you have the wrong name." I said, "Yes, ma'am." She goes, "I'm so sorry. I don't know how I did that." And she goes, "Here." And she gave me mine and I gave her Scott's or Steve's or whatever. So it's so funny. Did we order pizza? No, we did not. We had another donut Don't tell nobody. And we had chicken tenders and mozzarella cheese sticks. And it was good. And quite honestly, I feel fine. I took my nap, slept like a baby, got no issues so far. Knock on wood. I appreciate all the comments today very much. And
Oh yeah.
I got something I want to discuss after the stream ends, which will be, I'm going to let it, I'm not going to adjust the macro. Well, yeah, I guess I could. Yeah, overall, John, it was not a bad day. Well, Mrs. K driving home wasn't fun, but overall, it was not a bad day.
Oh, come on now.
She
Be
woke up at
nice.
5:30. I got up at 6:30. We are in the car. Door is open. We're backing out at 700 or 0700. Perfect. It's raining. We get there. Great.
Oh man, raining?
Oh,
That
big
sucks.
time rain. I mean,
Oh,
I heard.
yeah, you're
Yeah,
getting
in
a
the
lot
rain.
of rain out there too.
I heard
Yeah.
one guy said they predicted an
Oops,
inch to
sorry.
2.5 inches of rain for today. By the time we left the hospital, it was not raining and the sun was trying to shine. Now, I hope my doctor's not watching this or anyone from the VA. Mrs. K drove about 1.5 miles. I said, pull over. And she says, what? I said, I'll drive. I can honestly see well enough to drive. And quite frankly, your driving is scaring me to death. So we pulled over and I drove home. I sure hope nobody's
Oh.
watching. I'll probably get a nasty phone call in the morning. Oh, we heard your comment.
Well, we'll be putting it out there live.
I'm
That's cool.
pretty sure nobody
But
from the VA
sometimes-
watches it.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, well,
You know.
she did okay the first time. That's what I don't understand. It's only been a month, you know. Traffic was actually not as bad today as it was the other day or a month ago. So I do not know. I just know I drove the rest of the way home. We were in an area where there was plenty of space to get over, and we did. And 5, 10, it's got about 4 minutes to go. I'm going to bump this up and see what happens here.
You get ready to display the ending.
No, I am changing the macro in the middle of the macro running in the hopes that it will take
okay.
effect. I don't know if it will or not. That's the one thing I haven't tested yet, and we are going to find out. How was Doug's stream today, by the way?
That's pretty loud. Wow.
Didn't hear all of Doug's. I was sitting in the auto repair shop trying to catch some of it on the phone, so I didn't hear everything.
I tried to watch a video on the phone on YouTube. Something about they took an old rare charger and dipped it in an acid bath to do whatever it was they were going to do. I didn't quite understand
I've seen
why.
one of those where they strip off the paint by dipping an old
Right. Yep.
auto bodies in this solution.
Yeah. They dipped it 3 times and then they hosed it off each time and everything. When they were done, the floorboards were rusted out. Half the trunk was rusted out. I mean, there was more rust on it than anything, but the guy seemed confident that he could restore it and get it back to looking good. We are in a burn ban here, code red. We were in a code red yesterday, and he's saying they're expecting a 1/4 inch tomorrow, 1/4 inch of rain or snow or hail or ice, or what are we getting a 1/4 inch of? And I understand why she was nervous. There's a lot of twists and turns between here and there. If the road is straight, she's a great driver. She really is. When there's a lot of traffic and there's a lot of turning involved, she just gets nervous. So I put on the old Schwarzenegger glasses that look like the Terminator, which are stronger than these. They're in the car, and we were good.
What the hell?
Ski Man says he's supposed to get rain. I can't remember where Ski Man's from. Oh, wait a minute. He's from, I want to say Maryland.
I think so.
Yeah, I'm thinking Maryland for some reason. The tenders we got were from the canteen or commissary or cafeteria or whatever you want to call it there at the VA. I did learn that over half of the staff at the VA are prior military today. That was really interesting to find out. Eastern Shore, Maryland. No idea. Gonna guess it's on the Eastern Shore.
Is there a Western Shore, Maryland?
Oh, I'm sure there is, but I don't think the shore's there.
No.
It might be in the bay.
I
If
mentioned
there's a
Jeff's
bay.
name today, and I mentioned Greg's name today. We got to talk about veterans. It was a good day. I'm still here. I'm still breathing. I'm still my same sarcastic self. So, what more could you ask for?
Well, the VA has some good doctors, depending where you are. When I was in South Carolina, I went to Augusta for some surgery over across the border in Georgia. And the hospital I was at was right beside the VA hospital, and I had not cardiac surgery. I had a thymus gland tumor removed,
I
and
have
done
been
by
there.
a cardiac surgeon. And one of the doctors who came to see me in the days following the surgery was making rounds because he was at the VA hospital right down the block. And he actually was active duty military heart surgeon at that point in time.
I don't know if we're gonna go back to Augusta this year since I went to a local doctor for that stuff or not. I gotta find out.
I was impressed today with a couple things that I saw. There were 3 gentlemen that came in that did not have appointments that were having issues with their surgery, and the one guy said he couldn't see, and I can relate to that. And in all 3 of the instances, they took care of him today. I mean, they really jumped through some hoops. They really went out of the way. They could have been your typical, I'm sorry, we don't have any openings, you don't have an appointment, yada, 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 and send him away. They did not do that. Even the guy that had cataract surgery in January, and he's just not complaining about it, you could tell that one really frustrated him. But the doctor came out and she says, I'll get you in. We'll figure out what's going on. And they did. So there we go. We're back. Now this is going to run for 25 minutes. And when it shuts off this time, if I do my math correctly, it'll be a little past 10:30. You know, I may run longer. She's off the weekend. So we may go a little bit longer. It's going to depend on how I feel. And I feel pretty good. So
As far as the West Coast, Maryland, if you count the Sound, Chesapeake Bay, and whatever this is right here, Tangler Sound.
Yeah, I was just looking at the map, Chris. There is actually a Western Shore, depending on what you want to count.
But I guess it kind of is the ocean, but it's not open like,
was it an inlet or a bay?
Yeah, I mean,
Chesapeake
big,
Bay
big.
and
Okay.
Where at?
Maryland. Chesapeake
Oh.
Bay goes all the way up.
Chesapeake Bay, yeah.
Yeah, he says
all
the
way
bay.
up almost.
Well,
Yeah,
Annapolis is there.
That's where all my family's from.
I mean,
Goes up
Annapolis
near
is right there
Baltimore.
on the shore of the bay.
Well, my great granddaddy was a fisherman, balling all them crab legs and stuff.
That sounds good. We had fish and chips. That was an argument we have today. Why do you call it fish and chips? It's fish and French fries. Well, because when it first came over from England, I believe it was called fish and chips. No, it's fish and French fries. No, when it first came from England, it was fish and chips. And the potatoes were in the form of a chip. Thus, it was called fish and chips. No, it's fish and French fries. So, needless to say, when I refer to it the rest of the day, I refer to it as fish and French fries. Mrs. K, being Mrs. K, one time thought she'd be funny. She goes, "Don't you mean fish and chips?"
So I looked it up on Google. It is indeed French fries.
Even the original, back when it first came over, when Arthur Treacher came over, it was French fries there too.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
It's actually
It says origins
Yeah.
United Kingdom, England, on for Wikipedia.
Huh. Interesting.
But the British call French fries chips.
They call what?
French fries.
French
Chip.
fries.
they're a little bit thicker in some places than what we call French fries.
Well, you could have homemade potato chips.
Yeah, which is really hard to do. So Google says fish and chips is a traditional British food that originally came from the UK. It is a popular kind of fast food in some parts of the world. As the name says, it's made of chips and deep fried fish fillet. Well, chips can be many things. So here's the other discussion we've had, and I can't say it right. You guys know the Borealis lights? Are they
Yep.
sometimes referred to as the Northern Lights? Or is that a different set of lights?
I think it's the same, but I'd have to look it up to be sure.
The what lights?
Aurora Borealis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, where the radiation reacts with Earth's magnetic fields, and the light, if it's a light show on.
Oh, we've had a lot of these. Yeah, the Aurora Borealis, Northern Lights, are also called by their scientific name, Aurora Borealis. And Southern Lights are called Aurora Australialis. Oh, look at that. I'm learning a new language.
She's gonna hear you. You'll-
She heard me. She mumbled something.
You can tell Mrs. K we all think it's chips.
No. We
Uh,
compromised. We're good on that. And oh, by the way, the fish and chips tonight, which were French fries, was really good. And as a bonus, she had thawed chicken out a couple days ago, so she made a couple chicken tenders. So we had fish, chicken tenders, and chips. I mean, French fries.
Chicken and
you mentioned you had
chicken and
cod, or somebody said they had cod.
It's
the other
cod.
day?
Yeah, that's.
Well, I was in the store today. Smith's happened to be given 5 times regular gas points today, so I went and did my shopping today.
Wow.
And on sale, they had a box of frozen cod, and you were able to buy one and get one free.
Mm-hmm.
So, having heard the word cod the other day, I decided to buy one and try it. I don't eat a lot of fish, but I thought, well, half price, I'll try it again.
Well, buy one, get one free. I always get stuff like that. That's the way to go. I do have to put a plug in for the new furnace. When we got home, it was a nice, comfortable 78 degrees for me in the house. Obviously, for the Eskimo in there, it was a nice freezing 78 degrees. So she was like, "Can we turn the heat on?" And I was like, "Well, I guess, but it's 78 degrees. I'm cold." I turned the heat on. It didn't take 10 minutes to warm this house up to 78 degrees.
I'm going to say, given the size of your house, you probably only have a single zone, right?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
I was going to say, might have been worth spending a little extra to have one room that's a separate zone that you can keep hot, and the rest of the house cool.
Yeah, that's true.
so people talking in the chat about Chick-fil-A sauce. It is made of honey, mustard, barbecue, and ranch dressing.
And that sounds good.
But you got to know how much to put in there. They're not going to tell you. Chick-fil-A will tell you.
Very little sugar in that concoction.
I know there's
tongue in cheek, by the way.
I know their chicken sandwiches. The breading is made in like pickle juice or something. I don't like pickles, but it's actually good.
Roy said he sets his thermostat at 63, and that is warm. Well, when you live in Minnesota, when your average temperature is 27 degrees below zero 9 months out of the year, 63 would feel like you're in Florida. You have your AC. Yeah. He sets his AC for snow, which is great. But
Yeah.
and the other thing I just wished I'd have thought of this sooner was when the furnace was running, there's a duct right underneath this desk, which is kind of silly, but it is what it is. And for the first time in a year, it was warm air coming out of that duct instead of cold air. So that's good. That means the furnace was working, and that means the old furnace wasn't working. So I'm pretty happy with it.
Well, maybe your bill's going to be better too.
Oh, I hope so.
It ought to be
really
much
do hope
more
so.
efficient than the old one, even if they both were working properly.
Yeah. 78, I would be frying at that temperature. That's comfortable. It really is comfortable. At
Well,
that
in the
temperature,
summer, I set the AC to 78. In the winter, I set the heat to 72. Trying to
balance it out.
save a few shekels
Yeah.
on either end.
Well, in the summer and spring and fall, I open the sliding door and 2 windows, and it creates a draft, and it's just very comfortable. This fan runs all the time because of the computer and the 4 monitors. Other than that, no other fans run in the house. So it works pretty good. Now I'm looking forward. In fact, I got to do that tonight. I'm going to go back and look at all the bills, and because it's still bugging me that they tell me I owe them $1,200. I cannot see that. I really can't.
I keep my thermostat 74 on the AC, maybe 75 on the heat.
Here you go. We're going to go from a tech to a medical channel. Spotlight.
Uh-oh.
Mhm.
Wrong eye. I keep forgetting it's backwards. Just like that, the little writing that says this eye is gone.
Still saw a hint, but it's getting better. At least
Yeah,
when
it
you
still
walked
looks
in
like
this
there's a
morning-
little bit right over there.
At
Okay,
least when you
cool.
ran into the doctor, she said, "But which side are we doing the vasectomy on?"
Yeah, I wish this doctor would have done my surgery the first time, but she didn't. It was a female doctor, but it wasn't her. I hope you don't start painting like a rodeo clown.
Oh.
Got the computer set up. Who's painting? Who's doing painting?
Well, you were doing that stuff. on your
Oh,
own.
no.
Hmm.
I just wanted to take that off before I forgot about it. I'll tell you how good their senses of humor was. When the doc come in, she says, "And what are you here for today?" I said, "Steve's volunteered to have his cataract removed out of his left eye." Everybody laughed, except for Steve, and he goes, "No." Steve had a good sense of humor, though.
A computer that will warm the room, I think that's a little bit too hot.
Be an awfully small room if your computer's warming the room. I got a computer set up that will warm the room without any help. You have a big beach build too? Sure, that thing produces
be
a lot.
a
In fact,
server.
we know it does because
Well,
Doug
if you
put
got
that
a,
unit in there.
you got a big computer and you had an old CRT that was like 30 inches or whatever, those things would heat a room.
Yeah.
I bet Big Beast build gets warm.
Well, yeah, he didn't Doug put either an air conditioning unit in his closet or a fan in his closet to cool it down?
I think he put a duck out to his utility room or something.
He did, yeah, he done something.
He's having issues with it though.
With the big beast build or the cooling system?
No, he's something about the startup time. It's showing like, I don't know. So if
Oh,
ridiculous
about
number.
Kyle's time this morning, and I couldn't hear enough of it.
They've already figured that out.
What?
Yeah, they
Okay,
might have figured it.
So I don't
But
want
it
to sound
does have a,
as dumb as I am, but how do you know your startup time? I hit the button, my computer comes on, and I'm good. Is there a
Well, it comes up, but there's something that tells him how long it took boot.
well,
It's like thousands of
milliseconds.
seconds.
Go to
It
your
was
taskbar,
milliseconds.
Ken,
yeah,
your taskbar. Bring up Task Manager,
yeah.
then click on the Startup tab and look in the right-hand corner.
There you go.
My
Oh,
last
last BIOS
BIOS time was 15.1 seconds. So that's my startup time?
Yep,
Unacceptable. I gotta figure out how to trim that
So
down.
that's how long it stays in the BIOS, but before it starts loading Windows, I gather.
Okay. I never
I'm
knew that.
guessing.
Thank you, Greg. Never know that.
I never
Mine's
knew that was there either.
20.7 seconds.
How much?
oh, time for a new computer.
No, it's not.
How much? What's your startup
20.7.
time, Chris?
20.7 seconds.
Oh, no, that's way too slow.
Mine is 12.1.
Actually, that's probably pretty good for a computer that's from 2013 with an SSD.
Our ski man says it's good to have a crew like that. It makes it more bearable. It not only does it make it more bearable, but it instills confidence if you get a surgical team that's been together for a while. That brings your confidence up a little bit because you know you don't have a bunch of people in there that are going to be bickering and fighting and what you know you could end up suffering because the doctor's mad at the nurse who's mad at the anesthesiologist who no. And I did ask them, I said, have you guys been working together long? And the doc said, for the most part, we have all been together. Every now and then we shuffle one or two in. So that was great. That was fantastic. Usually means you're not booting as UEFI at Roy. Okay, so Roy says 0 seconds. Okay. I guess the $1 million question is, does it make any difference as long as it boots up and runs?
I think Roy said on Doug's stream where somebody said they don't have UEFI and secure boot. I don't know who said that. They must have a pretty old computer.
I got a comment over on YouTube. Let me go check that out. Roy says his runs as fast as you can push the button. Well, if your name's Josh Kinder and you push the button just the wrong way, it really doesn't run at all.
Just crashes your SSD.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. So
I don't want to get divorced.
exactly. Now I was gonna go look. Oh, I have a comment. Now that's interesting. I have a new comment on my phone, but when I go to the computer and go to YouTube and check comments, I do not have a new comment. That's kind of weird. Typical for me, but kind of weird.
Huh.
Here's interesting. My old desktop, which I got in 2016, has a BIOS time of 12.1 seconds. My new machine, which I just put together a year and a half ago, is 12.8. However, it's got 64 gig of memory compared to 16 in the old one. So that's probably the difference.
Well, again, as long as I hit that button, what few times this thing gets shut off and it comes back on, I'm good. At 15 seconds, I'm good with it. There are certain things in my life that if I ever get that concerned about, take me out back, shoot me, take me to a big cornfield, leave me, throw me overboard in a deep lake, I don't care. But 15 seconds. Doc, how long is this procedure going to take? Can you do it in under 15 seconds? Back surgery.
She said, yeah, we can pop your eye out that quick.
Yeah, real quick. Hold on.
I'll be back in just a second.
He said his back surgery machine was two of the best neurosurgeons available on the East Coast. Cool. Yeah, I've said this before. You guys are probably sick of hearing me say this, but with what little bit I have wrong with me, I have no room whatsoever to complain. None. I'm walking, I'm talking. Greg goes, unfortunately, I'm breathing. I got no complaints at all. CPU set for 4.9 with 32 gig RAM and Samsung SSD with only the OS, and that is all that is on it. Tony Wallow says, what? I'm not sure what Tony Wallow was saying what to. Oh, I'm starting to turn into Doug.
What?
What?
Which Doug?
Yeah, really. I was impressed yesterday with Doug. I was genuinely impressed. Now, anyone want to take a stab at what impressed me?
Hell no.
Think about it while I go and grab a water.
Here, you can have this water, Ken.
Well, since there was so much talk amongst yourselves about what impressed me, I will turn to chat and see if anyone in chat knows what Doug did on his screen yesterday. John, Skin, aka Stevie Wonder, how you feeling? I'm doing good, John. Thanks. I'm so glad he asked me how I'm doing. So we're leaving today, and Mrs. K said something, and the old Rawhide song came to mind, and I don't know why it came to mind, honestly, but I went, rolling, 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 keep this wheelchair rolling, 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 Mrs. Ken. No idea. Nobody was behind me. She says, you sing pretty good, sir. I said, I'm not singing. I'm doing an impression. So apparently nobody, either I watched the wrong stream or I hallucinated something. No, what impressed me when Doug was standing there and Doug walked in carrying a can of root beer and handed Doug the root beer. That was impressive. You know that had to be done with the green screen. At least I know that much. What I'm wondering is, how did he get that while he was on a live stream? That's what's got me perplexed. Very impressive.
Are you sure that part was live?
The part
It was near his intro. I was wondering if he somehow managed a quick transition.
if he did, that was a real quick transition. I hadn't thought about
I was
that.
guessing that, but I don't know.
I had
Somebody
not thought
asked
about
him
that.
about it, and he just kind of smiled and waved it off.
Yeah, I was impressed because if it even if it was not live, that's still pretty good.
Yep.
Okay, so let me figure out how I'm going to do this. There we go. And then part of the humor today, somehow we got, imagine this, we got discussing about me live streaming on YouTube and whatnot. I don't know how that conversation ever comes up. And somebody said, well, you're not going to be doing that tonight. I said, oh yeah, I will. If I'm up to it, I will. And somebody goes, well, you're going to be sky high. I'd like to see that show. Ken Stout Live, 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. I did ask him again if I could record it, and I got the resounding no. And when I asked again, could I get a copy of the recording, which I probably could if I wanted to, but it would be so restricted that there was no sense in it.
Well, that probably their lawyers probably don't like for him to do that.
Sure.
In case something goes south, they don't want any visual recordings
William.
running around for the purposes of malpractice suits.
Yeah. Yeah. The one guy quoted statistics down to the 100,000th place. That was kind of boring, but I understand he was just being friendly and helpful and trying to scare the hell out of me by telling me there was a 0.000009109% chance that something could go wrong. William, you send me an email, William? Oh, William's gone. Looks like William might have sent me an email. I'll go check that
Yes,
later.
I did.
Okay, cool. Appreciate it. I'll check it out later. As long as it's
Hey,
not a
William.
bill. It's not a bill, is it?
No,
Okay, good. Tony's saying 119. That's funny because I tried to come up with every conceivable combination of 911 tonight to get Mrs. K to help me out. And I had her doubled over in stitches so bad I forgot what I needed her help doing.
You can only do 3 combinations.
Oh, no. Gosh, no.
191, 911, and 991.
How about 191 119?
Oh, you add more numbers.
No. 191 119.
Ugh.
And then, of course, the traditional, 911.
That's just 3.
Says my chat disconnected.
No, it shows it shows me
What the
buffering.
hell?
Shows the street. Nope, now I'm back.
No, it
Nope,
says
now I'm buffering.
successfully connected.
Make sure I have the internet. I do have the internet. I buffered there for a second. That was interesting. Let me go see what bandwidth this is. Oh, it's only using 360? What the heck? All right. So this should
It's
go
still
to the
going,
outro in about 3 minutes if I got my estimation correct. And I'll have it adjusted by tomorrow as close to the hour as I can. And then I'm wondering if can I stop the macro? Good question. Not seeing anybody yell at me on chat yet, so I don't know if I can or not. So you can run the macro, but there's nowhere in here where it says in the macro. I know
Oh,
you
no.
can't restart it when it's running, and when you try to restart it, it'll give you a big error and say
Now,
macro is
that
currently
a YouTube
running.
macro or an OBS macro or what?
This is a OBS macro.
Oh,
This is something that we Wintermute found advanced scene switcher plugin for OBS, and it really, once I fine tune this, is going to be cool because I know I can come over here and let's just say, for whatever the reason, I wanted to go to the daily DaVinci screen and show it, which is this one right here. If you're watching YouTube, now you've got chat, Zoom, and a DaVinci logo up in the background. Now this will be a good test. We'll run this for about 3 minutes to see if the macro functions the way I think it might function. It will automatically jump to the outro as well, I think. Or what I'll do is, if it hasn't, I'll go there. See what I tell you? Just like that. That is awesome. That is so cool. So, this is an outro, or the outro. Trying to catch up in chat here a little bit. Now, the delay was horrible. It just now started on Zoom, and the outro is just about finished on OBS. That's a horrible delay. Yes, I am going to go ahead and end it. Thank you, John Beloy Sr., for being here. I appreciate it. See you tomorrow night. Thank you, Wintermute. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Long Dog. Thank you, Ski Man. Who else am I forgetting? Jeff, Ski Man, Bobby, and Jaden, who are having an issue, and hopefully they got that resolved. Roy, thank you, Roy, for being here. Rick Lakes was here. I know I'm forgetting somebody. I always forget somebody. Jeff
Jim
Ryman out of
there,
Las
wait,
Vegas was here. It seems like I am forgetting. Oh, yeah, Greg. How can I forget Greg?
Getting ready to say something.
uh-oh.
I hadn't forgot you. I'm just messing with you. I did in the past forget you quite a bit, though, and I'm truly sorry for that. Thanks, everyone. Well, I'll see you tomorrow night, probably 9 o'clock. She has the whole day off, and I can plan accordingly and get going at 9 my
Saw
time.
Jim in there too at one
Oh,
point.
Jim was there. That's right. He did make a comment. You're right. Thank you. And Jim from Delaware that was misspelled for a while, but I fixed that as well. Everyone have a good night. Yes, Roy. Everyone have a great night, and I'll see the majority of you tomorrow on Doug's. Hopefully without glasses by then, but we will see. Good night. What is 9 your time? 9 my time is 9 o'clock. 9 my time is 8 o'clock your time. If you are in the central time zone, being in Minnesota, then you would be 8 o'clock when I started at 9 o'clock. Yes, I am on the Central Standard or Central Daylight time zone. Correct.
7:33 here.
Right. Right now it's 9:30 something, but because I got stuff going on, I'm unable to do it. So let me end the stream. Otherwise, we'll be here another 3.5 hours.
10:30.
Do what, Greg?
So it's not 9:30, it's 10:30.
I just got my eyes operated on. Give me a break.